Hi everyone, this is Rene and this is TiPb Apps, and today we're talking to Marc Edwards of Bjango, and we're talking about Consume for iPhone.
Hi, Mark. How's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good.
So tell us about Consume. What does it do?
Consume is it's a usage monitor, so it's kind of uh, it's a bit of a Swiss Army knife in that it can check your mobile phone usage, SMSs. It depends on the plan you're on, depending on what we show, but generally we show as much information as we can. Also does package tracking, frequent flyer points with airlines, and a whole lot of stuff. We support over 100 providers from right now 15 countries, and we're adding them on the fly.
Now,
So
I use
it does a
Consume.
lot.
I use Consume, and I get fairly regular updates. It seems like every so often you add new services and new countries and new regions. Is that something you plan on doing going forward?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And in fact, the way Consume works, when there's an API provided by the provider, it means we can use that API to get the data. But generally speaking, we load a lot of it from web pages. So knowing that if the provider changes their design, that might break Consume. So what we did is we made what we call a recipe system that puts everything on the server side, so Consume, the application itself, can update without going through the App Store. So that means the benefit to that means we can actually add new providers on the fly at any point. We can fix bugs. We can do anything within minutes usually. So it's pretty cool in that respect. So lots of new providers coming.
One of the things that I hear a lot is some people say that their provider already has a free app in the App Store and they can just use that. But what I've noticed with Consume is I can keep all my information in one place. If I have an AT&T SIM and a Rogers SIM, or if I have my cell account and my broadband account, it's kind of nice to have them all in one location with a really, really nice interface. Was that also a conscious decision?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I definitely understand that there's other apps out there from the providers, and that's great. That's fair enough. Not all of them have apps. Some of them do. Um, a general theme has been that most pretty ugly, don't work well. So we thought maybe for a couple of dollars, maybe someone will. Well, right now it's actually only $1, so maybe that's worth it to get a nice looking app. Don't know.
Well, I think that's the major thing is that people are willing to spend money to either save time or enhance their experience. And that's one of the reasons I use Consume, just because, like I said, it's convenient to have it all in one place, and it's nice to be able to access it in a. I don't want to say the other ones are ugly, but in a better workflow.
Some of them are.
Quite a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
them are.
definitely.
Um,
Yeah, yeah, and
so
I guess it depends on your provider.
do you have any pro tips, any special ways of using Consume that might be helpful to our users?
Yeah, one thing that we actually in version 1.6 we added some help and tips actually into the app because we thought there were some things that people may not know. So they're all in there now. But one of the coolest things is the overview, especially if you've got lots of providers. So maybe you're tracking, you've got a couple of Apple Store orders, plus you've got your mobile phone and your broadband or whatever else. If you turn the phone to landscape, you get an overview of all your accounts, and you can actually refresh. And if you tap kind of on the right-hand side, you can actually select the provider you want to look at, and then when you turn it back into portrait mode, that will be the one that you're looking at. So if you've got like 20 or so, some of our users have an amazing amount of providers in Consume, so we had to kind of put a quick shortcut to jumping through them rather than using the normal swipe to change page.
That actually is very interesting, the way that you're managing the small screen on the iPhone. And it begs the question, are you looking at that giant screen on the iPad as a perhaps really nice way to start aggregating and visualizing all that kind of data?
Uh, just I have to say, we are actually working on an iPad app right now. It's just amazing having such a large screen. There's just so many things you can do. It's quite weird coming from designing Mac apps and widgets. Widgets are quite small, but they kind of can be big if you need to be, because obviously you can make it any size you want. Then designing iPhone apps, it's quite restricted, but kind of cool in a lot of other ways. And there's just so much you can do. But the iPad is it's a whole other level. Designing for iPad it's been a dream so far.
I'm in Canada, you're in Australia, so Apple's going to make us wait an extra 30 days to get it, but I'm assuming you can't wait.
Um, yeah, I don't know if we can wait. We're looking at our options to try and yeah. I've actually got a friend who's maybe even going to fly to the US from Australia to buy some. So it's insane. It's completely and utterly insane. But he might be getting us one as well. I don't know.
I felt bad I had to
We
drive
need.
down to Albany, but flying from Australia is much worse.
Yeah, yeah, it's a little bit worse. I think definitely if we were in Canada, would be driving down, without a doubt.
All right, well, that was Marc Edwards from Bjango, and we've been talking about Consume for the iPhone, the iPod Touch, and maybe the iPad. Thanks, Marc.
Thank you very much.